You are listening to the Lose Weight for the Last Time podcast with Laura Conley. Wait a second. What? You guessed it, guys. We have a rebrand. So, this is going to be the same great show that you are used to, but with a name that's a little bit more descriptive. So, I will still be giving you all kinds of life changing weight loss tips, tricks, and tools, among with bringing my clients on, bringing guest experts on. Don't you worry. The show is just getting a little bit of a facelift or a makeover, if you will. So, today's episode is going to go into my story. And the reason I want to share it with you is because I think that you will see yourself in my story. That is how we relate as humans, by telling our stories to each other. And hey, maybe if something in the story clicks for you, you'll see that there is an answer for you too. Because for me, I thought I was just a special unicorn. I just thought I wasn't ever going to lose weight. So I want to share this with you. And the reason is because I want to inspire you to want to lose weight and to believe that you actually can do it if this is something you do decide you want. So many of us have given up. So many of us have taken away the permission. And so I want to give you that agency and that choice back. So let's dive right in. The story goes, and P.S. If you've heard me tell my story before, I want you to know that my story also got an upgrade because I was sort of just telling it off the cuff. And as I've been telling my story over the past, 6+ years, people ask more and more questions. And I realized that there was so much more to the story than I even knew. So if you haven't heard my story, you're going to love it. If you have heard my story, you're also going to love it. Okay. It all starts when I was 6 weeks postpartum. I just had my baby daughter, Luna Wolf. Isn't that such a fun name? Oh, I love it. I had just had her and I was getting out of the shower. I was butt ass naked and I caught a glimpse of myself in the mirror. Meanwhile, she's in we lived in like a 700 square foot apartment in Santa Monica, 6 blocks from the beach. It was so dreamy. It was so awesome. I mean, it was tiny, but she was in there in her little like bouncy chair or whatever, cooing up at me. She smiled really young. She like had a big, bright personality. She was like she wasn't even in a percentile at this point. She was so chunky. Literally, my pediatrician at the time was like, "Are you sure you're not like side feeding her formula?" And I was like, "No." She's like, "It's literally like it's like you're feeding her whipped cream." So anyway, she was very chunky and very cute. And I had this moment where I was beating myself up because I caught a glimpse of myself in the mirror. I was also toweling off and like I had all these rolls as I should have, right? But I was beating the crap out of myself for not bouncing back into my pre-baby jeans, quote unquote, fast enough. And in that moment, I kind of had an out of body experience. I was like, whoa, whoa. Prior to that, I really kind of didn't notice when I was beating myself up. I always just sort of felt crappy about myself and my body and my relationship with food and my weight and all of that. But it was like, whoa, this has to stop because if this screwed up behavior doesn't, I'm going to pass it down to her. I'm going to pass it down to my darling daughter, who, by the way, this is why I think I had the out of body experience. We had just actually come home from being in the hospital. We were in the hospital with her for a month because she was really sick. And we actually didn't know at one point if she was going to make it. It was the worst time of my life. Worst time. It was like the best time into the worst time into the best time because we got a clear bill of health after those weeks. And she ended up having to have surgery. And that's a story for another day. But my point in bringing that part up is I was like, she's going to live. She's going to do this. We're going to do this together. We're going to live this one precious life together. And I want to make sure that I leave it all out on the field in terms of being her mom. I don't want to pass this down. That's no life. Like for me, I don't know about for you guys, but counting every single calorie from the age of 14 to the age of 34. No, I didn't want that for her. I didn't want her like having contests with her friends about how little they could eat, or should we do a lifesaver diet and just eat 1 pack of lifesavers, or let's go to Walmart in between classes at college and see if we can scrounge up enough money to buy hydroxycut. The crazy things that I did over those 20 years were crazy. And I spent so much mental, emotional energy on this yo-yoing, on my screwed up relationship with food and my body. I was constantly striving to be skinny. And then there were the times where I would just throw in the towel and eat all kinds of crap that wasn't healthy either. So prior to having Luna, I had kind of accepted defeat. I kind of just was like, you know what? This is just going to be my thing. This is just going to be the thing that I always struggle with. And I felt like it wasn't that bad of a thing. Like other people have way worse things. And so I was like, okay, I guess I have to have a thing. So if I'm going to have a thing, this will be it and it's not that bad and I'm just always going to struggle. So I really had accepted defeat. I really never believed that I could just weigh what I wanted and have a healthy relationship with food, with my body. So in that moment, I was like, you know what? I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to figure out a way to heal my relationship with food, to love my body, to actually love my body. Cause I pretended I loved my body for sure. At the time, I was a yoga teacher in LA and like, I'm a yoga teacher. I'm all evolved, right? Like, of course I love my body. I did not love my body. And I also really in that moment wanted to weigh what I wanted to weigh. So I wanted it all. This is so me. This is like I get so annoyed at myself sometimes because I won't settle. Like I do want it all. And I do believe us as women can have it all. And I am such a champion for that. That is the underlying foundation of the Yummy Mummy is free the moms from the traps of diet culture and all of the other traps that we fall into in our culture. And it's not our fault. Like that is a huge piece of the story is like it really wasn't my fault. I was really just a byproduct or really I was really just a product of the cultural conditioning of the societal programming that skinny equaled good, that thin equaled worthy, that a size 2 was desirable or whatever. Oh my God, such B fucking S. So in that moment, I was like, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to figure this out. There has to be a solution. And so I went on a maniacal mission to heal it once and for damn all in the name of my daughter so that she didn't have to be in the mirror, pinching her love handles, crying because she can't go on vacation because she can't wear a bathing suit. Like that was me. I was constantly canceling plans or dreading plans because I didn't know what I was going to eat on vacation. I was going to ruin my diet, or I didn't want to go in the first place because my clothes didn't fit or nothing was cute. It would be like every day I'd wake up and be annoyed because I screwed up again last night. Today was going to be a new day, but nothing in my closet fit. It's so unfair, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I could go on and on about my struggles. So I knew she like gave me, like, she's totally my inspiration because she gave me the will to figure it out, the gusto to figure it out. And what was so crazy is the answer was actually hidden in plain sight. The answer was in my background as a yoga teacher, as a meditation teacher, as somebody with so many life coaching and coaching certifications and a background in psychology. It's just that I had to blend it in my own way. And I'll talk about that in a minute because I really do want to give you guys permission. I think I felt ashamed that I wanted to lose weight. I felt ashamed that I didn't love my body, but I was supposed to love my body, especially again, as a yoga teacher, as a meditation teacher. I was supposed to be evolved enough to love it. And you know what? Looking back, I think I did love it, but I didn't know that I could love my body. I would say it was more of like a love hate relationship, but I didn't really know that I could love my body and want to change it. Like, our culture teaches us it's one or the other, it's black or white. And what I realize is like, no, actually listening to this gut feeling, this intuition, this hit from the universe of like, we have to heal this, we have to solve this. That following that divine intervention moment was actually an act of love. This is just even more kind of crazy is that the extra fat on my body that I didn't want on my body came from me not loving me. It came from me emotionally eating. It came from me having a bad day and stuffing my face instead of loving myself through it, which I could talk about more later as well, like how to actually do that. I didn't realize that because I wasn't a big binger, I never identified with being somebody who ate for emotional reasons, but I was, and I was escaping my truth. I was bypassing what was really going on inside by using food to numb, escape, avoid, whatever. So isn't that kind of ironic? Like all this extra fat that was on my body wasn't put on from love. It wasn't. So I think if you have that whisper inside that, like, hey, I do want to lose this weight. Hey, I don't feel like myself in this body. I think listening to that really is an act of love. And I want to give you that permission because our culture will try to make you feel wrong or bad for wanting to lose weight. I love the body positivity movement, but sometimes they shame this subset of us that wants to lose weight and for good, valid, holier than thou reasons. So I went on this mission and ended up blending a lot of my background in psychology, meditation, yoga, mindfulness, a lot of what I learned at the life coach school with hunger hormone balance, with insulin resistance and becoming insulin sensitive and fat adapted. And so I tested and retested all of these things and found what worked and turned it into a system that now works for everybody, which is so crazy to me, you guys, because I just didn't believe for so long. I remember having this moment where I looked at my husband and I was like, I really did it. Like, I really did the thing I didn't think I could do. And he's like, I know, like, good job. He's also like, thank freaking God I don't have to like back cupcakes out of your mouth at the parties anymore. Like, that was annoying. Like, thank God you're not going to be yelling at me for not hiding the chocolate covered peanut butter pretzels good enough. This was our life, you guys. I'd be like, okay, babe, we're going on a diet. He'd be like, oh my God, again, really? I'd be like, all right, time for a juice cleanse. And he'd be like, babe, can you? I'm like, all right, let's do 2-a-days. P90X, babe. He's like, can you just calm the F down? He is so much happier now that I'm now that I'm at my natural weight and I've healed my relationship with my body and food. Oh my God. Just ask him. So, anyways, I came up with what has now become the Yummy Mummy method, which helps you, helps me, helps all of us to it's really the holy grail. Like I really can't believe like and I say this to my husband too. I'm like, I remember my first couple groups and being like, "Babe, it really works for everybody." He's like, "Yeah, I know." And I'm like, "I can't believe it." Like I really can't believe it because I think diet culture wants us to yo forever and ever. That's how they make money, right? But I want this to be done so that we can move the F on to our one precious lives, to do the things that we want to do, to stop spending energy on this problem that is actually solvable. So, really, the method in short is that we create a plan that you love that balances your hunger hormones and then from there, learn how to actually want to follow the plan. And then from there, learn what to do when life inevitably happens. It's really simple. We balance our hunger hormones. Those are insulin, leptin, and ghrelin. It's not that hard. It's really not. I know it sounds complicated. You don't have to wear a CGM. You don't have to get tested. It's so cool. And what you do is you come into a really deep relationship with your body and your body's cues when you do that. It's so cool. It's so, don't get me started. We also use mindfulness and mindset to literally change the way that your brain operates. It's called neuroplasticity. So you can actually change the neurons in your brain so that they work for you, not against you. Right now, they're most likely, if you're listening to this, working against you. We also learn how to feel our feelings and not eat them. It's also very cool. We also inside have loving accountability and we also use fun love. So if you don't love your body, no worries. We're going to learn how to do that. A lot of people cringe at that. They're like, I don't want to do that. But it is actually a necessary part. And we learn how to have fun on the way while becoming our own best friend. So we stop beating ourselves up. We stop letting ourselves off the hook. We learn how to truly love ourselves. And what's so cool about this whole entire methodology that was born from my daughter is that, yeah, I didn't want to pass down diet drama and body shame. I didn't want to pass that to her. But what I really realize now is what I definitely don't want to pass down to her is any of these societal traps, like the inability to love ourselves or to love ourselves on a conditional basis, meaning that when we make mistakes, we love ourselves. I want to teach her that it's okay to make a mistake and to speak to herself really lovingly. Like I think that's one of the best gifts. I really think that this program taught me how to be number one, or at least on the top of the priority list, where we as moms and women sometimes we just forget. We forget to even put ourselves on the list at all. We forget that we are actually worthy. And that is a skill set that you can learn inside the Yummy Mummy, which is like the best gift that we can give ourselves and to our children. So that really is my story in a nutshell. I struggled for 20 years. It started when I was 14 when I got that messaging that skinny was good. And I strived every single day to I started working out. I would get a ride to the Weymouth Club. I would burn 500 calories on that stupid elliptical. And then I would try to eat 700 calories or something stupid. I had this little notebook. Then it went to college, right? I gained exactly 15 pounds, the freshman 15. And then I probably gained and lost it, I don't know, 20 more times. Literally, I have tried anything that's out there. Been there, done it. Craziest thing I've ever done. I was talking about this with my friend the other day. I used to buy Sudafed to dull my appetite. Isn't that psycho? Pseudoephedrine, literally basically meth to dull my appetite. So embarrassing. But it's not my fault. I really don't blame myself. I blame the air that we breathe, the culture that we are in. So if you identify with this story, if there's a little bit of you inside this story, reach out to me. I'm opening my calendar for the next couple weeks for coffee chats because I want to get to know you. I want to understand your problem. And some of my clients just come to me because what used to work doesn't work anymore. Some of them are hitting perimenopause. Some of them had their last baby and they're like, oh crap, they didn't really have an issue before. Doesn't really matter. The methodology works if you want to lose weight for the last time and you want to have a healthy relationship with your body and with food so that it's for you as much as it is for your kids. And when you love your life and you love yourself and you love being in your body, your home, your whole entire life is better. It's the best gift that you can give your children, a happy mom. It's the best gift you can give your partner, a happy partner. Seriously, satisfied, content, confident. This is what we do inside. So come and have a coffee chat. You go to lauraconley.com if you want to set that up. And to kick off this relaunch, this Lose Weight for the Last Time podcast, pretty please with a cherry on top, go leave a review. It would mean the entire world to me. Let me know on there what you're liking. If you don't like it, don't leave a review, please. And what you want to hear, what topics you want me to cover. This is getting kind of a little boost. And so I'm so excited. And yeah, I will see you down the Lose Weight for the Last Time with Laura Conley podcast road. I love you all. Have the best week ever.